what is up, everybody? Welcome to Howsit. I'm your host, Richie Henson, joined as always by Chloe Prohl. What's up, Chloe?
Hello, guys.
Today,
welcome to this episode.
On the show, our very own lead pastor,
Greg
Tierweiler.
We are so happy to have you here.
Tierweiler. Yes, there you go. Tierweiler. There we go.
We'll make sure to spell that right on YouTube.
It's a big
Don't
deal.
worry.
Yeah, we'll get it right on YouTube.
Well, it's a joy to be here, guys. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks for joining us. So I have a quick question just as we start.
Yep.
If someone came up to you and said, for $1 million, get a 100% on a Bible quiz of any book of the Bible, which book do you pick?
If they're asking me,
Yeah, they say, hey, I'm going to give you a 10-question quiz on any book of the Bible. You get them all right, $1 million. Which book do you pick?
Oh, man.
It's a hard one.
It is a hard one. I might either go to Philippians, which is my call to ministry
Okay.
book, or I might do Romans, but
All right.
that's a big one.
That's a big one.
Yeah,
That's a lot of
so
verses.
that's right. It's daunting, right?
Okay.
So it's a vague question, probably intentionally, but
Yeah.
just thinking through the scope of what the questions would be. So I might flunk it
Yeah.
though.
Sure. I would be hard pressed to get 10 right
Yeah,
on any one book for $1 million just because of the pressure too, right?
yeah.
So this is a little bit lower pressure, but where like on your list, maybe top 10, is Lamentations on that list for you?
Lamentations is not on that list.
Okay, well,
Again, 5 chapters. I know, the key passage, of course.
I got you.
Chapter
Okay.
3.
yep.
So today in part 1, we're going to be playing one of my favorite games,
Good.
Yes.
which is Taylor Swift or Lamentations.
Oh man,
We are going to read
nice.
a quote,
Okay.
and you have to decide whether it's from the Book of Lamentations
Or T.
or
Swift.
if it's a Taylor Swift lyric.
Oh man. And since I'm an expert on neither, this is going to be
This is gonna
fun.
be
Should be
amazing,
good.
right?
I
So
took the quiz and did not do well.
Okay.
Yeah, I kept
so-
asking Richie, like, oh, is this one
Okay.
hard? He's
All
like,
right.
I have no idea.
This is good. This is good.
Okay, you go first.
The only thing better than this would be like, is this Cosmopolitan magazine or the Song of Solomon?
Yes,
Yes,
that's a
also
good one
a good
for
one.
another
I like
day.
that
For
one.
another, because that would be really awkward, right?
That
That would be
awkward.
really awkward.
And also
By the
easy
way-
to get wrong.
By the way, is Cosmopolitan still a thing?
Yeah, I think
I
it is.
think it is.
Okay, all
Yeah.
right.
Maybe
I'm
more
dating,
of like a website now
It could-
than a
right.
actual
Like an
magazine.
actual website,
Probably.
right?
It's like an
Yeah.
e-magazine more.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got 10 of them.
Okay.
We're going to see how we do here.
So Lamentations or T. Swift?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay.
You locked me out and threw a feast.
Oh man, I'm saying T. Swift.
That's correct.
Oh,
Look what
correct.
you made me do.
Of
All right.
course. I mean,
Okay.
who doesn't know that song?
Yeah.
Duh.
You locked me out and threw a feast.
Okay.
That's T. Swift, my friend.
T.
Next
Swift.
one. Are you ready?
Okay, I'm ready.
Where we stood was holy ground.
I'm gonna go T. Swift.
That's correct.
Yeah.
2 for 2.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, when it comes to all things T. Swift, I got it.
You know it.
I
You
got
know
it.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
I'm
love
about
it.
ready to break out in a song right now.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
He has weighed me down with chains.
Oh, that's Lamentations.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
my
it is.
goodness.
That's
Yeah.
it's from the key chapter.
Yeah,
so,
it is.
yeah.
Yeah. That one's at 3, right? Chapter
Yes,
3?
yep.
Okay, yep. Weighed me down.
Okay.
Good.
My castle crumbled overnight.
My castle crumbled. I'm going to go T. Swift on that.
That's
Yep,
correct.
4 for 4.
Call it what you
Alright.
want.
Yep. Okay.
They can mock me in their songs.
That's Lamentations.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, we're going 5 for 5. Now, the rest of this I could take it right down.
Yeah.
I could
But
bring,
you've at least
You're
hit
so
50%.
quick, though.
You know?
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Okay. Ever seen pain like my pain? Seen what he did to me?
T. Swift.
That's incorrect. It's
No,
Lamentations.
is it really?
112. Yes. Isn't
That
that
was a
crazy?
tough one.
Read it
I
again.
don't know what kind of translation
Read
it
that
is,
again.
but ever seen pain like my pain? Seen what he did to me?
Okay. Chapter 1. I'm going to have to go there and look it up
Verse
today.
12.
Yeah.
I don't
All
know.
right.
That
I
might be out of
mean,
the message.
Okay.
That might be a paraphrase.
No,
Yeah.
that's all right.
Yeah, I
That's all
don't
right.
know.
5 out of 6. All right.
She cries herself to sleep at night, tears soaking her pillow.
I'm going to go T. Swift.
Lamentations.
Is it?
Lamentations
and it says
1, 2.
and it says she?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's what that one I was tipped off to because Taylor Swift never talks in that person.
Right.
It's always I.
Yeah.
But that's the only way. That's the only reason I got that one right because I was so confused.
I'm on a bad streak now.
Okay.
Here we go.
Here we go. Get back on track.
This yearning in the deep part of my heart for you.
I don't think Lamentations does much yearning in his heart, so I'm going to go T Swift.
That's correct.
Okay,
Nice.
yeah.
That's
I mean, there is kind of a longing in Lamentations, but
Yeah.
I didn't think that was matched the typical
That's not the mood.
ebb and flow. It's not the mood. Yeah.
All right, last one for me.
Okay.
All my flowers grow back as thorns.
I'm gonna stick with T Swift on that.
That's correct.
Okay.
That's correct.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean that would be imagery like maybe of Psalms or something perhaps, but yeah. Okay. That's
right.
good. All right.
All right, last one.
Okay.
He pierced my heart with arrows.
Lamentations.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Nice.
3:13.
Yeah.
You were so you did so good at
that's
You
that.
did
the-
a great job.
Well,
that was amazing.
thank you. Just toss the cards.
Yeah.
and- yeah.
Way to go.
That is a great game to play, and I like to. I've done that game before
Mhm.
with Proverbs
Okay.
because Proverbs is just it can be a hilarious book if you
Oh,
if you
yeah.
match it up with like mantras of our day.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sometimes people are like, "Really? That's in the Bible?"
Oh yeah.
That's so funny. I love
So-
it.
We played a
yeah.
game once with the high schoolers that was Peter, 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 or Peter.
Okay.
That was the three
Peter.
Spider-Man movies
Okay.
or Peter the Apostle.
Nice.
So that one was pretty fun too.
That
They
is
were
good.
That one was a little bit easier to get right.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Yeah, that's great.
That's
well,
so
thank
funny.
you. What a
Yeah.
game. What a game.
So that's how it's going on with us. Let's see what's going on with New Hope Youth.
All right, guys, we are winding down our school year of ministry, which is
Yeah.
pretty wild.
How awesome.
Awana and Ignite have ended. We have welcomed a new group of 6th graders into Wildfire,
Super
and we have
exciting.
ushered our 9th graders over to Radiate. So
Whoa. It
for
is
the next-
transition time
it's transition
at
time.
New Hope Youth. Wow.
It is. So
Yeah.
we're kind of in the swing of things now. We're starting new teaching series and we're winding down the year. So this summer we have some exciting things coming up. Most importantly, we have camp. So
Big
Yes.
deals.
Radiate is going to camp. You can talk about that, Richie. July 24th through 28th.
July 24th through 28th, we are going to like what amounts to all city camp this year.
Mhm.
So there's going to be 5 different churches who are all going to show up at camp together. Here's the thing. This is an opportunity for you to meet other believers who you might go to school with and you didn't even know, who maybe you've played on sports teams with. But even while we're doing that, we're getting to know new people, we're still going to have plenty of opportunity for it just to be our family and to grow in groups together as a family, to sit in circles with people that you're going to sit in circles with throughout the year. It's going to be a blast. There's going to be a lot of really big games, like really, really big games. And we're talking like probably like 100 high schoolers all playing like 3-ball,
That's
which if
amazing.
you've been to camp, you know that game.
That's
Or
cool.
like playing like shared field kickball, where
Mhm.
basically every field shares bases, but there's
Wow.
multiple games happening at once. So it's going to be a really fun time,
That's
and
so
I'm excited
cool.
for it.
Yeah.
But you're going to want to sign up now because the price goes up in June.
Okay.
So you're going to want to
Good
get
to know.
online and sign up
So
now. We'll
now's
put a
the
link in
time.
the description.
Now's the time.
Now is the time.
Do not delay.
and then
The moment of conviction is the moment of decision.
Yes.
Let's play
Yes.
Just As I Am one more
Right.
time as people come forward to sign up, right?
Oh, I love
I see
it.
that hand.
I see that hand. Just put your hand right on the TV right now. Yeah, that's good. The old TV
And
evangelist.
of course, we have Survivor
Oh,
for
man.
7th through 9th grade.
This is like what, 12 years in a row or 13 or
Something like
so-
that.
it's
It could be
crazy.
more. We could be getting close to
I remember when they
15.
did Survivor X, you know, the whole
Yeah.
like 10th
Yeah,
year.
the
Oh, yeah.
10th year thing.
And
yeah.
that was like a big. You're right. It might be
it
like
could
15.
be close to 15.
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
wow.
We have to
Yeah.
look into that. We should.
You know, it's interesting having been around and remembering the very first
Yeah.
year of Survivor, thinking that, wow, that's such a novel idea, such a,
Sure.
and,
Oh, I
and now
know.
look at it. Here we are 15 years or so
Yeah.
years later.
Yeah.
So we have, because Survivor, it's iconic, right? I mean,
It
it's
is.
been going on for a long time. We have some traditions that have been there since day one, like sporks and like the mud pit.
The mud pit,
Yes.
yeah.
Of
the
course,
mud
we have
pit.
to keep these
Yes.
things. But we played some really fun games last year, like glow battle and
Oh,
water
yeah.
balloon volleyball, that they might make a comeback this year. So
Whoa.
I'm
again,
hoping they do.
sign up for Survivor because it's going to be a great time. We want you there. It's fun.
Yeah,
so
that's awesome.
And
Big things
also,
happen. Big things happen.
I want you guys to stay tuned because in the next couple of weeks, we have some big announcements about what the rest of our summer is going to look like.
Mhm.
So I want to give you 2 encouragements. Encouragement number 1 is this. If you've never helped with the sports camps that we do at New Hope Church, at New Hope Community Church during the summer, sign up to help with those camps this year. That is an absolute great opportunity for you to grow with your friends, to meet some of the younger kids who go to the church, to participate in ministry during the summer, to just be a help and to see God move and work through the lives of people. So that's the first encouragement. If you've never signed up to help at a camp, do that this summer. It's going to be a great opportunity for you. And the second thing is this: we're going to have some events this summer, but we're also going to have a weekly opportunity for you to really intentionally grow in your faith and to be part of a 40-day reading plan with us. And so we're going to have some more info coming about that in the coming weeks. So be mindful of that. But I want you to start thinking about, hey, how can I be purposeful with my summer this year? How can I really use my summer as an opportunity to continue to grow and not like take a break, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Such a big need this, every season, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's right.
All right, guys, that is what's going on with New Hope Youth. Let's see what's going on with Pastor Craig.
Whoa.
So here we are, the best part of the show. We get to ask this question to everybody that comes on, and we're so excited to ask you, Craig, is what is one thing that God has been teaching you?
Well, having come fresh back from Ecuador, being inspired by the people out there in the world. I mean, we would say locally and globally, but when you see it up close and personal, in the conditions of the slums and the conditions that people were living in, the type of perseverance that people have for the cause of Christ because of their love of Jesus, and what they're doing to make an impact in the local communities was very challenging to me. I mean, so when you say, one thing God has been teaching me, I would just say, fresh off the press, is how soft we are here in America, and how much perseverance that people have for the cause of the gospel around the world, and that's a challenge. I mean, it's common that in fact, you guys will be going on mission trips, right, to Kenya and Guatemala, and oftentimes when you visit other cultures, you come back with a gut check, a heart check of why do we do what we do, and are we? I know a big thing you talk about is helping students love Jesus, right? Not just teaching them religion, but truly a relationship with Jesus. So that was like fresh off the press. Very impressed with the faith of young adults, young kids, church planters who are just resilient in their faith, and that's a challenge to me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely. So when you think about kind of this experience that you've got to have, where you got to go somewhere completely different, right, outside of your norm, and then come back and just like really have a different perspective. Maybe for some people who haven't had the opportunity or currently don't have an opportunity to get that for themselves, what are some things that we could possibly do just to be aware of our perspective, or to be aware of needing to kind of like do a check-in about like, man, am I being soft in my Christianity? Like, do I need to like maybe like check myself a little bit? What are some things that we can do as people who are just living in the States to kind of like be aware of that?
That's a good question, bro. I think the first thing that comes to mind, I mean, again, and this is all ad lib, right? I mean, it's like we, there's no cheat sheets and all that stuff, but it comes to my mind, what can we do? So one thing I practically did, I would say even like 4 weeks ago, because it gets to checking the motives of the heart, is I never spent a lot of time on social media, but I got off of Facebook a month ago because I thought it seemed like whenever I was on there and you just kind of scroll through stories and people post the best of, right? Sure. It leaves you feeling just kind of like sick, like jealous, like, why is my life suck and theirs is all good? I never came away feeling like joyful that I was on Facebook as an example, or I don't even know if that's a cool social media platform nowadays. I'm so out of touch, but it could be Snapchat or, Twitter, or I don't know what kids use nowadays, but for me, as I think the entanglements of the world are so easy, and as we talked about in Hebrews recently, that we are to throw off, right, every weight and the sin which so easily entangles. So for me, one thing we can do practically is just be very careful of the entanglements of the world and the things that just really weigh us down.
Yeah.
So that's what I did recently. I thought, that's one thing that was just it was weighing me down,
Sure.
and it wasn't even an addiction, right? Because I
Yeah.
I don't even care about social media much, but that was one thing. So
That's so good. And that's so funny that you say that, because we just did an Asking for a Friend episode about why should I have boundaries with my phone, right?
Yeah,
And that's
right.
a really important thing when some students have 6 or 7 different types of social media. Like, imagine that weight that we feel times however much. Like,
Yeah, right.
it becomes a real problem. And if you're a student, even if you don't feel like you're addicted to social media or addicted to your phone, that doesn't mean we don't want to throw off things that are keeping us
Yeah.
from pursuing Jesus further, right?
Yeah, right. I had a conversation on the trip with with one of the American representatives who went
Mhm.
with us. I think he was from Illinois area. We talked briefly about the stranglehold that social media
Mhm.
platforms have on young people
Yeah.
nowadays, which we believe, whether again, this is not citing studies,
Yeah.
but we believe that it contributes to added anxieties,
Mhm.
added pressures, added depression, all of the competitions and just the things that we do a lot of comparisons with.
Yeah.
And he said one thing that really stuck with me. I don't know how to do this, but
Yeah.
he says, he said he really believes that we as a culture need a counter move
Mm.
to social media.
Yeah.
And it reminded, when he said that, it reminded me of the old Hunger Games. I don't know if you guys ever watched
yeah.
that.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
reminded me of moves and counter moves.
Uh-huh.
And again, social media in itself is is not evil, but it feels like we need a counter move, because at the end of the day, I don't think that people are satisfied with it. I don't
Sure.
think they come away filled and happy and satisfied,
Mhm.
especially in a relationship with Christ. I think that it really is a detractor. So
Yeah.
Mhm.
I do think we need a counter move, and I don't know what that looks like, which goes back to the perspective thing.
Yeah.
Mhm.
We get so wrapped up in our own little world, and
Mhm.
we need what was it, Tim Keller's book years ago? I think it was called the freedom of self forgetfulness,
Yeah.
or the secret of self,
Yeah, yeah,
or
yeah.
something like
Something
that.
like that. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, that's classic. I think too, like something that comes to mind for me often when I think about these types of things, because I've gotten rid of my social media in the last couple of months for similar reasons, and a big part of it for me is just to think of Paul talking about, you know, just because it's not against the law doesn't mean it's profitable,
yeah,
Mhm.
right?
yeah,
Just because it's not like sin doesn't mean that it's good for your life or
Mhm.
helpful for your life, right?
right.
And so to have that continual check in of like, what is this doing for me or to me?
Yeah,
Mhm.
And to
that's
ask those two questions.
very interesting. So in the 5-month stint that Corey and I had as youth leaders, and we were really not very good youth leaders. You weren't here yet either,
No.
right? Okay, so this was in the transition, right,
Yeah.
between youth leadership. Corey and I came in, and we kind of thought through. Okay, we have 12 weeks with these kids, or 14,
Sure.
with the senior high students, and we thought, okay, what are the top, like, absolute biggest lessons that if we only had that time,
Yeah.
that's it, that we wanted them to grab a hold of.
Sure.
One of the I think it was like week 2 or 3 was that passage when Paul says, all things are what he says profitable for me, or all things
Or
are
not
are
profitable.
permissible.
Yeah.
All
Or not
things are
profitable.
that was the saying of the culture.
Yeah.
All things are permissible.
Yeah.
And he says, hold on, but not all things are beneficial.
Right.
Mhm.
And then he goes on to say, I will not be mastered by anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I just thought that with the youth, and I think the angle that we took that session was that we allow so many things to master us
Mhm.
that are not beneficial. And that is really at the core of breaking free from any type of addictive cycles,
Sure.
patterns, behaviors,
Mhm.
and I think one of many is certainly social media addictions, which just call it what it is. It's an addiction.
Absolutely. Yeah.
100%. Yeah. Hey, that's why, honestly, that's why we get in circles every single week,
Mhm.
because we were designed for that level of community. And social media, in a lot of ways, is the world's attempt to create community, and they're failing at it,
Yeah.
just like they
Mhm.
always do, because God creates things to be a certain way and to be good. And then the world tries to replicate it, and the world tries to make money off of it and gain control from it. and they always do a bad job at it.
Always.
Because they can never be God, even though they want to be.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's why we encourage you to get in a circle every single Wednesday night with us. That's why we encourage you to come help at summer camps this summer, so that way you can keep that community, that face-to-face, person-to-person, I know you, you know me community. And again, that's another great way to help you build perspective into your life, is to have people who can say, hey, what's going on? You're not acting like yourself. And that's what we hope to accomplish with that.
That's
Yeah.
good. That's good. No lasting change happens without community.
That's
Yeah.
a
really,
fact.
really believe that.
Yeah.
And the importance of being connected and surrounded, and again, the litmus test of does that social media platform, does it satisfy, is answered in the fact of that inevitably, no matter how much you're on it, you come away feeling empty.
Sure.
You
That
come
is so
away
good.
feeling defeated, discouraged, comparisons, jealousy. I mean, fits of rage. I mean, just everything.
Right.
It doesn't fill. It doesn't
It
satisfy.
doesn't.
It's like
That's a fact.
eating a Twinkie.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. It tastes good in the moment, but it doesn't do anything good for you.
It doesn't do anything.
That's right.
That is so good. Well, thank you so much for being here.
Yeah,
We
you're
so
welcome.
appreciate you and your time and your wisdom. And thank you guys so much for tuning in to this episode of Howsit. We will see you next time.
See ya.